Welcome back. As I said, we've got a number of government betrayals, or what could be interpreted as betrayals, and I think this one, in my view, would be the correct interpretation. Peter Kyle, the tech secretary, one of the many people, the great and the good, currently descending on Davos for the World Economic Forum. As you've seen, Donald Trump has been there, and indeed various other world leaders, global tycoons, all that. You know what happens there in Davos once a year. Peter Kyle was there, and he told this gathering of the great and good that Britain basically should think about rejoining the customs union that, of course, we left when we left the European Union. That's the trading bloc single customs system that all members of the EU belong to. Our Labour government thinks that's vital for our alleged prosperity, the prosperity that they're destroying day by day. But Peter Kyle, a particularly irritating member of the cabinet, if you ask me, he said he's the one who said that Nigel Farage was a supporter of Jimmy Savile. Do you remember that? Anyway, Peter Kyle said, now, of course, it would be crazy not to engage with the prospect of a customs union. So basically, this is all part of Keir Starmer's Brexit resetting our relationship with Europe. In other words, getting more and more sucked back into the Brussels gang, betraying what the people of this country voted for in the biggest democratic referendum of all time here in Britain. That was the Brexit vote. We voted to leave. If we do go into the customs union, what that would mean is we would have to obey all diktats, all rules, all regulations from Brussels, all EU laws, because otherwise we wouldn't be allowed to be in the customs union. So we'd have to take all the orders, do exactly what we're told by Brussels. But unlike before, when we were a member of the EU, we'll have no say at the table, no vote in any developments, any situations. We'll have no vote, no power at the table. We would just be serfs. We would be subservient, told what to do, have to put up and shut up. So I don't know about you. That's not the kind of deal I want to make. I do not want this country to rejoin the customs union on those terms.
I don't want this country to rejoin the customs union on any terms. I mean, back to Brexit.
Well, no.
It was a very simple decision for me. I voted to get the keys to my own front. Voted for the keys to my own front door. This would not only take those away effectively, but it would leave me I suppose if you're making it personal, it would leave me no right whatsoever in the trading place. Now, Peter Kyle has said that this nation needs to have a national conversation about the customs union. We had that. And we finished that. We should have finished that conversation in 2016 when the vote was decided, when we decided to leave Europe. Labour, Starmer, Kyle now, all of them, they can't accept it, can they? They can't accept it. We had essentially, it started a culture war, right? You can pretty much trace the culture wars back to Brexit. The 2010s, we had the conversation. We're still having it. So this man is quite crazy, but it also, again, it just represents the chaos of the Labour government, or the supposed chaos of the Labour government. Keir Starmer actually came out and said, no, we don't want to go back. We'll torpedo other trade deals. David Lammy has said that he would love to go back. But then again, he's an idiot, so we don't listen to him. Yeah. The point is that Wes Streeting has also said similar things as Peter Kyle. Now, he is dangerous because he isn't an idiot. So I'm very, very worried about all of this stuff. But as you say, Kev, it's a real betrayal, and it's stealth, it's backdoor, it's governing against us. It's like they're an occupying power, working for Europe and working against us in every single way
None of this works for us. None of this is good for us, and it will make us poorer.
Exactly right. Let me know what you think about this, folks. This is Keir Starmer's Brexit reset. In other words, he wants to destroy Brexit. He wants to get us back into the EU. But if we go back into the customs union, as Peter Kyle made it clear that he desperately wants us to do, this is an important minister, an important cabinet secretary, then we're back in the European Union, but with no power, no vote at the table. Just serfs, servants, subservient. Is that what you want? 03444991000. Before we go to break, I want to talk about old maniac Miliband in just a little while. His latest absolutely eye-wateringly stupid proposal that's going to cost us £15 billion. But just before we do this, do that story, Philip, Vladimir Zelensky, the Ukrainian leader, has launched a scathing attack in Davos on European leaders over their support for Ukraine. He was supposed to be meeting with Donald Trump, but he declared that Kyiv was living in Groundhog Day, and every forum like this proves it. Just last year here in Davos, I ended my speech with the words, "Europe needs to know how to defend itself." A year has passed and nothing has changed. Europe, he said, loves to discuss the future, but avoids taking action. And basically, he's had a big go at us, even though we're giving the countries of Europe, particularly our country, we're giving that guy or his country billions and billions of pounds every year, billions of pounds worth of weapons. And this is how he betrays us, with this ingratitude. I mean, I always defer to people who are far more intelligent about geopolitics than me. And yes, I suppose I grudgingly accept we've got to make sure that Ukraine can resist Putin's efforts to take it over, because if that happens, he'll just move on to the next country. I suppose I get this. But, I'm a simple guy. And frankly, I'm sick of so much of my tax money going to a country thousands of miles away in the east, to fight a war that doesn't seem to affect me, and all the money that Labour politicians in particular, are fond of saying, oh, well, we have to give all our money to Britain. Oh, we've got to support Ukraine. I just sense, and let me know what you think, folks, I just sense that the people of Britain, are approaching breaking point on this. We are poor. We are suffering a terrible cost of living crisis. We're being taxed to the hilt, due in no small part to our continued massive financial and weaponry backing of Ukraine. I don't want this to go on much longer, and if we are to do this, old little Zelensky could at least be grateful and stop having a go at us.
Yeah, I think this is about priorities, isn't it? And Ukraine, it's all well and good, and we all want to do what we can in the world, But, we have Islamist boots on the ground here in this country. We're not far off civil war. We have hate marches every single week. We've got Palestine action. We've got the threat of terrorism. We've got all of this stuff happening within our borders because we have porous borders. We don't have borders. So we have to take care of ourselves. It's the old rule. We have to take care of ourselves first, and then we'll take care of other people. Yes, like you, I get the whole thing that, Ukraine needs to be a buffer and we need to do our bit. But when you have this pompous little person who is just performing
He's becoming very entitled, isn't he?
Yeah, he's performing so badly on the world stage. He's acting like an entitled teenager, badly behaved teenager. Yeah. And he is just making things worse. And I think the people of this country do not want to throw good money after bad and see him make things 10 times worse.
I think the problem here is, as I say, it would be pretty moronic not to accept that we have to
somehow help Zelensky resist Putin. But I think the problem here is this guy's getting more and more entitled. He's made this speech in Davos, having a right go at all the countries, including us, the European countries, who've gone out of their way to massively help him, telling us to stop squabbling, more action, less talk, more action. You know, who the hell do you think you are? You know, carry on like this. Tell you what, we'll stop giving you anything. How'd you like that? I'm just saying that what I think the problem here is, that while we probably do have to support this guy, it is the body politics, Starmer, all the politicians in Westminster, you see them all wear their little Ukraine badges. They just assume that we, the people, are four square behind this largesse that we continue to show to Kyiv and to Zelensky in Ukraine. And I'll tell them this, I know that is not the case. The people of this country have had enough of that, but they don't console us on it because they assume we can entirely support it. You know, the Starmers of this world, they think it's a given that we don't mind giving so much of our tax pound to Ukraine. I'm telling him that is not the case.
Yeah, it should be the absolute opposite. It should not be a given. We should think very, very carefully about where we throw our money around. We shouldn't be throwing our money around. There should be rules imposed on this man to say that we will give you some money if you do A, B, C, and D. If you go out of your way not to antagonize people who are very easily antagonized. It's all very simple stuff. It used to be called diplomacy, and now it's just gimme, gimme, gimme. Yeah. And as you say, Ken, I think the people of this country, certainly the listeners of this, viewers of this channel, they are sick of it. We know that, and that's a big proportion of people out there.
Well, Cliff in Berkshire sent me a text, I think, which I think sums up what an increasing number of people in this country are feeling. He says, Zelensky has got a bloody cheek and should be grateful he's getting any help at all. Talk about biting the hand that feeds him. If I was one of the European leaders, I'd quietly say to him, listen, Volodymyr, one more speech like that and you don't get another penny out of us and you don't get any more weapons. So you play the game, you remember who's supporting you and stop having a go at us, you entitled little jerk. I mean, really, really.